Hi, I'm Eddie Donnelly, Reverend Eddie Donnelly, actually. I do hold a doctorate in ministry, but I'm just an ordinary sinner saved by grace, like I hope all of you are. We know there's coming perilous times, there's no doubt about that, and I wrote about some of those in my Doctrines of Demons, the New Age Dawns, which is a supernatural Christian thriller. And a lot of people have asked me since then, what exactly are the doctrines of demons? And there's lots of theories about that, and we of course know that in Timothy, Paul was writing to Timothy, who was his protege, and talking about how to conduct ministry in the church. So we know this does talk about the church itself. But I also believe, because of a whole group of related verses in Thessalonians, also in 2 Timothy and 1 Timothy, that Paul was just not talking about doctrines of demons being false teachings in the church, of course, which there are, and we need to be aware of those also. But I believe there's a greater context, because so many times it describes a falling away. For instance, in 2 Thessalonians 2:10, about the faith. And it talks about the Antichrist, and also the lawless one, who I believe will come to fore before the rapture and Christians are taken out. And I want to preface all of this with that Christ wins in the end. We know that Christ is coming back to set up the millennium kingdom, and we will be a part of that who know the Lord. But until now and then, I think the church is largely unaware of a lot of things that could potentially happen, and I believe God has given me some revelation on that. The lawless one, with all signs, power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all unrighteousness. And it goes on to say, because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved, and for this reason God will send them strong delusion. We also know that Jesus, in Matthew 24:25, said, false Christs and false prophets will rise and show great signs and wonders to deceive. And it says in Matthew 24 that they will deliver you up to tribulation, and that in the last days perilous times will come. So we know there's going to be a falling away. We know there's going to be perilous times. We know we eventually win in the end. But I believe Doctrines of Demons has to do with what I believe is the threat of the New Age philosophy in Christianity. I think it's a bigger threat than any other threat out there. Millions and millions of people believe in this New Age philosophy and are abandoning our churches for it. They don't have churches, they just have a wide section of beliefs. Many of them focus around this one particular theory called the ancient astronaut theory, which is, you can tune into History Channel, and History Channel broadcasts thousands of hours on it. There's hundreds of books in our bookstores, probably more New Age books in bookstores these days than Christian books. So there's lots of people, tens of millions probably, who believe this very theory, that ancient astronauts came to Earth, impregnated women, bore and started the human race, and that they will return to save humanity from itself, restore the planet which is destroying itself from destruction, and restore an order. Of course, this is the New World Order in the Bible, and of course this theory is the mirror image of our Christian end-time teaching, that if you're premillennialist at least, and I believe most people are, and I am, that Christ will rapture the church up into heaven before he returns. But before that time comes, I believe a lot of these things are going to take place, including the lawless one is going to rise. And I also believe that the ancient astronaut theory is of course connected to the UFO phenomenon. Now, for a long time, a whole group of Christians have believed that this is based in the occult. A whole group of secular UFOologists have come to the same conclusion. So I think it's pretty safe to say, and there's lots of biblical indicators that this is true, that the demons are in spaceships. Now, what I believe that's different and takes it a step further is I believe that there is a corresponding rise in theistic Satanism. Just as the polar opposites are becoming two, Christians are becoming more Christian, not necessarily more of Christians, but I think we're ascending into more signs and wonders on the Christian side. I believe the corresponding side with theistic Satanists is also rising, and there's evidence for that, although they certainly don't advertise. And with that, I believe that there's a group of Satanists who believe that they can widen the portal to the extra dimension where angels and demons in particular exist, and I'll cause those demons to return to earth. Now this has some biblical background, and some biblical teachings verses indicate this very thing, too numerous to go into right here. But the basic theory is that the astronauts are going to return to help us. I believe, and I actually believe, that there will be a day when a being will step off a spaceship and proclaim himself to be the Messiah. And I believe a large majority of those in the world, either before the rapture or after the rapture, or just to set off the rapture and the days of tribulation, will occur. So those are my basic beliefs of the doctrines of demons. The New Age philosophy of the ancient astronauts, I think, is a huge threat to our Christian churches. We've already seen NASA announcing water on Mars, the likelihood of alien life on other planets. And I don't think the church is really ready to deal with the fact that there will be a public announcement that life forms, human, not alien, but not humans, but human-like life forms exist on other planets. And what that means to the church, I'll talk about next time.